What is up, YouTube? It's your boy Alex here from Alex CFE, and today we have another video. So today, a very fun topic, actually, something that I'm pretty passionate about, excited about, and I hope you are too. Judging by you clicking on this video, maybe you are. But if you're on the fence, this might be the little push that you needed to kind of do it. Why you should become like a Vanguard content creator and how to kind of do it. So I'm going to section this video off into a couple different parts, really just 3 parts in general. Two and three might be kind of blended, but you'll see when we get to it. We're going to structure it first, just like the why, just to give you some points to start off, the real reason you should be doing this, and just kind of maybe giving you some like a little bit maybe of a reality check, but also encouraging you, giving you like ways to kind of keep consistent, things of that nature. So the why is going to be up front. The second part will be the logistical part. I'll show you some tips and tricks. I'll tell you about my journey, some mistakes or some pros I've kind of learned, some tips along the way, and I think it'll be kind of good for everybody. So I'm not saying I'm a big creator or anything like that, but at this point, this game's not that big. I do have 1,700 subs now, which I'm pretty proud of. It's definitely not a small channel at this point. I'm not like a cornerstone of the community. I keep myself very separated, kind of do my own thing, very much so. But what's really inspired me to make this video is I've come in contact with so many people lately, and in the past too, that I truly believe that if more people just made content and really got their points out there, there's just such a treasure trove of information in this game, and there's so many great players, so many nice players, that maybe it's just this one little extra nudge that you need to actually get your stuff out there. Because the whole purpose of me making my channel is, and I'll kind of get into this a little bit later, expand upon this topic, but it's really just to make people better, to give you reference points for either decks, maybe some match videos to show you some tips and tricks, or just like in general to kind of cultivate and really just keep that passion for the game up. Because at the end of the day, I've invested a lot of time, obviously there's a monetary investment too with the game, and I think that if we had more content creators, this would just all kind of like the game itself would just grow. We have tons of great ones right now. Like we have absolutely amazing ones, super high production quality. At the top end, there's a ton of great stuff, and I think also on the low end, there's like a lot of great passionate content creators that make some really good stuff that you should be checking out. And I'll list some of them towards the end as well. But I think we are also kind of just there's still more to be had. Like that's really what it comes down to. So I believe there is more information, more ability of people. Like I just know that they're out there and that they should be making content. So let's get into it. Let's hop right into the why part. Let's get started. So the why part. So right off the bat, you have to be passionate about this game. And if you're watching this content, this is a relatively small channel. You're probably invested into this game. You're probably, in general, pretty passionate about it in general if you found my channel. So with that being said, if you are somebody who wants to, or just have any inclination to kind of translate your passion for this game into like the content creation kind of sphere, I think that it's super easy. There's never really been a better time, in my opinion, and I'll show you why in just a minute. But I think that the why really starts with passion, and like you have to want to do this. If you are in it for, or if you're like aiming towards like a monetary goal, things of that nature, I'm gonna tell you should really temper some expectations, because there's no capacity for really like a full-time Vanguard tuber. Like there's no facet of this game and content creation that will help you support your entire life. Like, not to say there's not opportunities in it, but in general, like money should not be the reason you do this. You should be doing this from a point of passion. You should want to help the community, and you should just want to either A, get better yourself, do something fun with this. Like it's really a fun project overall, and there's so many benefits to actually doing it. The second part really comes down to making just continuing to be like more on that passion topic, continuing to be consistent by making content for you. So if you're decided that like, yeah, fuck it, like, or friggin', sorry, I don't know if I'm gonna get demonetized for that, but I'm gonna do this. I kind of want to do this. Like, how do I even get started? That's really the question for a lot of players. I've talked to some players too. They're just like, I want to do this, but like, I don't know how to like really get started. Make the content that you want to see. Like, it's as simple as that. When I started, I started with very basic, very easy things. It was not to say my production quality now is like crazy or anything, but it's definitely better than it used to be. And there was a lot of steps to get there. Start off small and just make the content that you want to see. So if you want to do a deck profile, like totally go for it. Like if you want to just record some match videos, things of that nature, if that's something that you like to see, go for it as well. If you want to do a deep dive, like a 15-minute deep dive on a deck, if you enjoy watching like video essays on stuff like that, I also encourage you to do that. And I'm going to show you the tools and kind of the skill set that you will need a little bit later into the video to kind of do that. But again, A, passion, B, the ability to and the wherewithal to kind of recognize, look, this is the content that I like, therefore this is the content that I want to make, because at the end of the day, you're really making content for yourself. Like if you're not enjoying it, how is your audience going to enjoy it? And the last thing is to really just be true. I see a lot of people who make videos, not even necessarily in Vanguard in general, just making videos, and they have the, you know, the YouTuber voice, oh, blah, 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 blah. Like, you know what I'm talking about. Don't come at this with like a fake personality. Don't try to be somebody you're not. Stay true to yourself. Stay true to, like, again, going on to like the B topic, like make the content that you want to see, but also be authentic to yourself, and that will help you stay motivated. Because one of the biggest problems I see with a lot of channels that start, they lose motivation. Like at first they're cranking, you know, they might hit like a goal or something that they've wanted to do for a while, but they'll just like plateau, they'll lose interest. You start seeing the uploads become more sporadic and less consistent. You can't do that. And I think that, like, even if you have the passion, if you're not enjoying the content that you make and see, like, being true to yourself, then like it's actually pretty difficult to kind of maintain this over a long cycle. And that's why you see like a ton of channels kind of just fizzle out in general. So I believe that if you are, like I said, passionate about it, true to yourself, if you have the idea of the content that you want to make, and that idea can kind of change over time too. Like I used to never do videos like this. Like this is something that I've gotten into a little bit more recently, and I like talking to you guys. I love the feedback I'm getting on my videos. So I'm going to continue to kind of do it. And I think this is a great topic, and we definitely need a little bit more content in the community in general. I feel like there could be a lot of other up and coming stars, so to speak. So cool. Getting right into it, I'm going to pause the video here. We're going to go to my browser, and I'll show you guys a little bit more of the technicalities and just like a bit more of the journey that I went through in order to kind of to get where I am right now. So yeah, let's hop into it. All right, I am back over here. So now we're going to get into a little bit more of the nitty gritty, and I have a couple different things I'm going to show you over here. A lot of, towards the end, it's going to be the more technical stuff. Over here, this is going to be the more, you know, what do you need to kind of get into it? So at this point in the video, if you've decided like, yeah, you know what, I'm passionate about this topic, I want to maybe do a video on something, like what do I need to go forward? Like you've already said yes to yourself. It's like I said, there's never been a better time to really do this, because everything, like right now, there's so many options for you in different methods of recording. So I'm gonna kind of use my journey as an example, and this might not be the correct path for you. Like there might be something else entirely, but I think I'm going to touch on a lot of different things that kind of are flexible to like everybody's different path that they might want to take. But first and foremost, most people, like, you have all you need right there in your pocket. Like I got to 1,000 subs on my channel just straight up through my phone. I never touched my computer, never uploaded a single video. Everything was done through my phone. I'm gonna go over like the app and stuff like that, and like just more, again, the technicalities towards the end. But what really enabled me at first was very, very simple equipment, like things like this over here. If you want to record some match videos with your buddies, if you want to maybe do like a deck profile, things like that, I always suggest just investing in a piece of hardware that you already have in your pocket. Just get like a crane, get something, a tripod, anything. Like you see over here, there's like $10, $16, $15. Really awesome little devices. If you think that you are going into more deck profile stuff, I would definitely get something like leaning. I'll also show you like the control arms, or not control arms, but rather the desk arms are really great too. For a long time, I was just recording on one of these. So you can see it's a pretty minimal investment. And like right off the bat, you have something that's going to enable you, like $25 can enable you to make a ton of content. And I suggest also, if you're gonna monetarily invest in any of these things, set a little goal for yourself. Be like, okay, like 3 months in, let's try for like 100 subs, and just stay consistent. I'm gonna go over again technicalities a little bit later, and that includes like schedule and whatnot. But I just wanted to show you, like, there are so many options now that weren't even available when I started doing this. Really, it's such a minimal investment just to get this arm up here, and like this will enable you to do a ton of different things, like deck profiles, like match videos, things of that nature. There are also really larger tripods too. If you're gonna do match videos, I would suggest one that kind of could possibly go on the floor. Temu's another site. I'm not like, obviously I'm not sponsored by anything over here, but I'm not supporting the site, so to speak. There's a little controversy, but for $12 you have like a big sky mount thing. Like you can get great angles, I'm sure, for a lot of the match recordings. And as I've kind of evolved, I really went from arms on the table to these things right here, and just a lot of different stuff I've experimented with over time, and I've kind of landed at like the tripod stuff for like match videos and either computer setup, which we're gonna get to in a second, or potentially like an arm or a desk mount, something like that, to kind of do like the in-person deck profile, because not everybody will have the software, and it's a lot to like get into OBS and all that stuff right off the bat, even though it was all free, by the way. Like this is, all that stuff is free, but this is the easiest way to kind of do it and kind of start. And really, it's the hardest thing sometimes, just to get your foot in the door and like just begin. And I really feel like just getting a little crane mount, things like that, are the way to go. Second off, over here, you don't need one of these right away. For example, if you have, you know, any kind of like recent phone, your microphone like is more than fine most of the time. Just make sure you're in like a pretty good environment overall. But if you are interested, I think something that I noticed once I got a mic, like the level of my content in general got a little bit better. So I personally use this right here. You can probably see it on the screen. I use the blue microphone, the blue Snowball. It used to, yeah, I guess it's on sale right now, but it's around $50. You don't need to get something like this. You know, the HyperX makes one permanently that's $39 over here. There's a lot of like off-brand ones too, which are absolutely fine. Look up reviews on YouTube. Obviously, look for something that is within your budget and like the best bang for your buck, because price is what you pay, value is what you get, and you want the best value at all times. I will also suggest this JLab. I've recommended this to a friend, and he sounds absolutely great. Like, you know, if you're not somebody who's, you know, maybe recording stuff every single day and you just want to like minimally invest, again, like for $21 to have like a mic, a nice little USB mic. You can use it for PC gaming too. I think you can use it on console. I'm not 100% sure, but you don't need to go into like the big, you know, big time streamer HyperX stuff. Like you don't need to do that right off the bat if you don't want to. Something as simple as $21, you know, $16 over here, $10, whatever it is, just go for it. Also over here too, if you do want to do a lot of match videos, these are a lot cheaper than they used to be. I only used to see like $50 and beyond like sets for this, but now they're pretty cheap, and I've seen reviews of this stuff. It's really not that bad. They have a lot of these, what do they call this, lavalier lapel kind of microphones, so you're able to like really talk and like be audible in your playtesting videos. And if this is just more comfortable for you in general, like, yeah, go for it. Like this connects to tons of different devices. You can get in USB-C and, you know, regular USB as well. So I think audio in general is a big difference, and something that, again, is pretty cheap to really just elevate your content to the next level. And this might be a step that you think, you know, once I get 100, once I get 300, whatever it is, like set a goal for yourself. You don't need this right off the bat. Again, phones are more than fine. I even do some like opening stuff in general, like off of my phone. It's still like fine for the most part. Something too that I definitely suggest investing in for a minimal investment, again, it's just like a ring light or kind of any kind of like clip light, things like that. Like to make sure that your cards are kind of lit up is super important. I've seen so many profiles where things are like dark, things of that nature, like people's faces too are just kind of dark, they dingy, it looks a little weird at times. So something as simple as a ring light, just any old ring light, any kind of like clip light, things of that nature, can do a whole lot for you. And yeah, you could even get like colored lights. I'm gonna probably set something up, maybe hopefully a little bit soon with that, but like this is such an easy, again, investment that really makes a huge difference. So right off the bat, if I was gonna say like, yes, if I had like $40 to go invest, I would probably pick up an arm, a ring light, and just a microphone and go to town. Also for the mic, just make sure that you have an adapter for your phone to go from like regular USB to USB-C or Lightning if you have an iPhone. So just a quick heads up there. But hopping right into the next thing. So let's say you don't want to do any physical content. Like that's just not what you want to do. You're not really interested in doing that. You rather do kind of videos like this, or maybe like do your profiles online, do your testing like through webcam games or whatever it is. I think that this, starting off with like a very basic webcam, if you don't already have one, a lot of people already have one because of BRO, but these webcams can enable you kind of to do all that stuff in one, and you don't need anything crazy. I have one of these over here. It is like $35. It's really not too much at all. Yeah, there's another $8 too or something off. So it's really, yeah, it should be around the $20 range. It's not the greatest in the world, but look up reviews, see what people are doing. There's ways to optimize your camera. I personally use like the Logitech Stream Cam. Again, not too much, but it's definitely a little step up from these guys over here. I think that this can really open up a whole section of content for you. If you're somebody who is super passionate about like deck profiles, things of that nature, you just open up OBS. I'm going to show you in a second. You just screen record yourself through this right here. You put on a couple of like extra banners, whatever, like I have up on the screen right now. It's very minimal investment, and like for $35, boom, like you already have half of what you need. I would still get a ring light. Ring lights really do help with lighting in general, obviously, but if you are going to get like a more budget kind of oriented little stream cam or something like that, like it would definitely go a long way. But again, look at the prices of these. Like there's so many choices now that are so budget, and to me that's just kind of awesome. I really this is a great time, like I said, to just kind of get into it for the gear itself. But so now that we have the gear kind of stuff, you've decided like either A, I want to do both, or I want to be either a more physical kind of recorder or like a digital. Now we're going to hop into some of your software over here. So let me get rid of that right there. But OBS Studio is your best friend. And I'm not going to get into like technicalities necessarily and how to use it, because there's so many better guides online. People can show you so much more than me. That's a whole nother realm of content in general. And like, there's things that are a lot better. So YouTube, a little bit of like OBS Studio, just like how to screen record. It's like as easy as this. You set up a couple things, you paste in a couple images, and you hit start record. Like make sure that your mic and everything is hooked up, like you're absolutely fine, and then bam, like just go for it. This is so easy to use. This is free software, and there's no watermarks or anything like that. It's super easy overall to kind of get into. Once you do download OBS and you've decided, okay, yeah, like let's get into the screen record thing, which I think is great. You can get like what is this site over here, Streamer Freebies. I think this is where I design my banners. I'm not 100%, but there are tons of sites that give you these like packages for free, and you can kind of customize them with some of your socials on there. You know, if you create a Twitter, if you create, you know, your channel name, whatever, like stuff like I have up top. Nothing crazy, obviously, but I personally like the color orange, my favorite color, so I just theme that stuff out. But as you can see, there's tons of different things over here. There's also tons of different like logo makers, things of that nature. Like you can really get very deep for free. Like you can, you know, all these packages are free right here. Like you can get kind of down the rabbit hole and like create something decent for absolutely nothing. And that is really a blessing in this digital age, I guess. And it's, like I said, never been easier to become a content creator in that regard. Also, the tools that you have at your disposal are super nice now. So like I said, when I first started, I did everything through an app, and all you need is the YouTube app and the account that you're going to start creating content on. You can upload directly from the app. You can edit from the app as well, like not from that app really, but I'll go over another app that I believe is actually pretty good. And also, you have YouTube Studio both on your phone as an app and on the computer. And the computer is a little bit more expansive, but it's really good on the phone as well. And look at all the tools that you have here. Like it tells you everything you need to know, from revenue, subscribers, you know, your watch time. It can break down like your content, what's actually performing, what's not. It can give you average times, things of that nature. You can tell you more about your audience too. Yeah. Clearly, you know, who does my audience watch? You know, the top 5 people here. Yeah, but it gives you a whole lot, and there's so many tools now to kind of tell you like, okay, this is good, this is bad, this is what you should be doing in a way. And it's not going to hold your hand necessarily like that, but it's just going to enable you to make better stuff and better decisions, and like you're more informed than ever. And I feel like that's like a really great part of what this is, you know, because really it's you strategizing how you're going to build, expand, and like what's working for your audience and yourself, and just enabling you to hone in on the passion point that you might have and like really make something of it. So obviously you see like this is you know, you're not gonna be here making a lot of money, but something that can help you along the way. So in order to become a partnered person on YouTube or whatever it is, you need to have 1,000 subs, and like that is a big milestone. That's really tough for a lot of people. I feel like the 40 hours, I think it's like 40 hours watched or something like that, or 4,000 hours watched too. There's like another requirement, but that's, you know, far off for a lot of people. So what can help you in the meantime is honestly a TCG Player affiliate link. So super easy to get into the program. I don't remember, I think I had like 500 subs when I requested to go. I don't know if they have a special kind of like threshold or requirement to really do that, but that's just like the goal I told myself. I was like, okay, I'm going to get 500, then I'm gonna try to get that. And like this does help you. This will, if you're making deck profiles, if you're making content surrounding cards and things that like people can go out and get, I will tell you right now, people do use the link. It's an alternate kind of form of revenue that you can make, and well, kind of just, you know, it's not a lot of money at all. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not gonna go into specifics of how much I make, I'm sorry, but the 3.5%, anybody clicks on your link, they basically go, and that's kind of the commission you get on that. So I don't know if I'm allowed to leak that or whatever, but this is public knowledge. I just googled this thing over here. So just definitely a good tool to kind of help you along the way and just make it a little bit more worth it. Maybe, I'm sorry, recoup a little bit of what you're actually invested into this whole journey. So you, like I said too, like you kind of have to decide what content you want to make in general. So if you are somebody who wants to do everything through the phone, that's absolutely fine. Again, you have like a super device right in your pocket, go for it. And this is the app that I personally use, Kinemaster. Let me just, you guys can probably tell from my videos, like I'm not a editing guru. I have no idea to do any video stuff. Like I never studied it in school, never did any of this stuff, but there's so many resources out there to kind of like get your foot through the door and really teach you a little bit more. And this is such an intuitive app. There is a free version of this. I think it is watermarked to your videos. If you pay for it, it takes it away and just gives you access to a lot of different stuff in general, and it's just so easy. It's literally like set up just like this. I can't really go into the app itself on my PC, but let me see if I can get some stuff here. Yeah, just it kind of shows you some stuff, and like it's so easy to just hit record on your phone, add the stuff, change the volume, chop stuff up. Like it's super intuitive. It's kind of like iMovie. Also, by the way, if you have an iPhone, like you already have iMovie on there. So I personally don't use it, but I think that is another easy app, and I know a lot of creators do kind of use it too. So maybe check that out. If you have a Mac, by the way, too, you don't even need a webcam. You can use your iPhone as another external webcam, by the way. So just a heads up for that. And then if you're deciding to go like the PC route, or even a combo of both, like you can there is free software. Davinci Resolve is free. Editing, things of that nature, like cutting videos up, editing volume, adding stuff, like super easy. Again, pretty intuitive software. There are other guides to show you how to physically use it, but this is more like, a suggestion, like, hey, maybe check this out, maybe check that out. These are things that I wish I kind of saw like on my journey, because I had to kind of discover and do a lot of trial and error myself, but it's kind of where I've landed at. And again, I'm not the end all be all by any means. Like my level of production, I don't have an editor, obviously, it's just me. It leaves a lot to be desired. But again, if you're just trying to start off, you're just trying to do this casually or whatever, I feel like this is great stuff to kind of effectively get your point across, because at the end of the day, I feel like the knowledge that you put across is a little bit more important sometimes than like the super high production quality. If you have bad production, if you have like a bad thing, like, if your production quality deters from your video, that's when it's a problem. At a certain point, it only adds on top. So that's kind of what I'm getting at there. But let me just get into the next section of the video to kind of walk you through my journey, what I kind of stumbled on, what I kind of strode on in general, no pun intended, and just things in like that in general. So the big head is back. So getting into it, like I said, just with my journey itself, and maybe this can help you kind of with some do's and don'ts. It's kind of interesting. We started during COVID. Like we were just playtesting a bunch, and we were kind of bored, and we were like, okay, you know what? Let's just toss a couple of our videos up. So we started recording videos, just match videos. It was me, my buddy Eric, Devin, a couple other people too from Team Generations at the time. It used to be the channel name. I've since rebranded, obviously, but I'm still super friends with those guys. Everything's all good, and it really started with that. Like I loved watching match videos, and I just wanted to maybe do it. So my production stuff was really bad. I had a different like camera setup, but I just really stuck to it. Like I just, each day when we played, I took a couple videos, just posted them. And the idea is that you have to really stay consistent. In the beginning, you're not gonna have a ton of views. Like it's even now, like me, like I don't have a ton of views on a lot of my content, but I think that the plateau that kills a lot of people and like stops them from kind of continuing on in this journey and hitting like a pretty decent point is like they think it's just going to be this influx. They're going to be like the next Solemn, the next like different fight or whatever it is, and like all of a sudden you don't have like 5,000 views in an hour on your video, and they're like, oh, what's the point? Just keep it up, just keep consistent. You have to feed the algorithm for YouTube, and I'm going to get into that a little bit later towards the end of my journey explanation. So just again, create content that you want to see and just keep consistent. Like stick to a schedule, create like a content schedule in a way in your head almost. It can be one video a week, it could be two videos, it could be two videos and a post or whatever. Like I'm gonna again get to the more scheduled details, but in the beginning that's super important just to like have some level of consistency so your viewer base and the algorithm can like both be served properly in general. I started to roll some deck. I think the first deck profile I did was Ancient Dragons, True Ancient Dragons for Tachikaze. And I think I did like a Grand Blue one, or I forgot what it was, like a PBO. And like those actually, like I went from getting like maybe less than like 100-ish, 120 to like maximum 300 views on like fight videos to all of a sudden I got like over 1,000 views on my PBO list. My Tachi's list was a little bit big like that too, and it was kind of like a budget True Ancient Dragon thing at the time when V started, and like I think Commander Jaime commented on it. He featured me, or he kind of like shouted me out on one of the videos, and like I started to see things from there. Like I started to become a little bit closer to that 300 mark than 500, and like I just continued on with that pattern, and it really became like, at that time it was enough to at that time just do deck profiles and match videos. And I don't think that's the case anymore necessarily, not to deter you from starting that way, but like I think that's an absolutely fine way to establish your brand, establish yourself. But I think that things have kind of changed in a way, and that served me, that formula, pretty much. If you've seen my channel, like I started branching into like budget profiles, regular profiles. I didn't really do like competitive analysis and stuff like that. It really stuck to just like the profiles and match videos, and I did get to the 1,000 mark that way, but it was definitely a little bit slower than it could have been. There were some banger kind of videos that would get, you know, 5,000 subs, things like that, or 5,000 views, things of that nature. But really, I stuck to like the low-hanging fruit, and that was just deck profiles and match videos. And I feel like there's a ton of that out right now, and there's a lot of great channels doing it. I think that if you really want to succeed and get to that 1,000 up front, find something unique that either like a passion point you want to talk about, or like just something in general that like really resonates with an audience and is something that maybe hasn't been done before. I don't know what that is, and if you know, and if you want to tell me, go ahead and like comment down below. I might poach that idea. But in general, you have to kind of maybe find your own niche in a way, and that could evolve over time, but I feel like sticking and like being consistent to that for a while is pretty good. So that is probably an easier way to get to 1,000. I really don't suggest just like doing the run-of-the-mill stuff. Like there has to be something that differentiates you, and I think a great example of this is like Deckflare. He's a pretty recent tuber. I know Solomon like tweeted him out, and he's working with 50 cards on like the budget decks. I've mentioned him before in a couple of videos, and he makes really great content for like budget specific stuff and like other things as well. But like that was, you know, kind of his calling card in a way, and that's what the audience kind of expects, or like that's what kind of resonated with people, and that's what made them go to his channel. And like I'm pretty sure he's bigger than me now or something like that, but it's just, you know, that was like the unique identifier, and that really got him to a certain point pretty quickly. So that's kind of my point with saying that. Also, in more recent years, like once getting from like what was 1,000 to like 1,500 wasn't that bad, but 1,500 to where I am like now, I had a lot of things going on. I wasn't able to post as consistently, and this kind of brings me into my last topic here with the algorithm and what you really are. So I've said it a couple times, but I really don't mean to say the term YouTuber all the time. Like saying YouTuber, especially around Vanguard content, is incorrect. Like that's not the way you should really think of yourself. A YouTuber is somebody who, to me, that just means like making videos, posting videos. That's it. Like that's not what this is anymore. That's unfortunately not the algorithm that I believe is in place today. And I've changed things on my channel ever since my rebrand. I've changed a couple different things, and I've noticed it's worked. Like I jumped up like almost 200 subs since I've done this stuff. And that is, you're more of a community manager at this point. Your channel shouldn't be viewed as like a video outlet. It really is like you managing your community in a way, or just trying to become like something in a community. Like I'm not saying you guys are my community or whatever, but just the community that you want to foster, that the place that you want to foster in a way. So that means that you have to, unfortunately, create some shorts. Once you get to a certain point, I feel like if you don't have shorts on your channel, whether you want to do them or not, you're just like locked behind stuff. So when I did the rebrand, I decided, okay, like I don't know I'm kind of throttling out a little bit what's going on. I think I posted like one short, and it didn't even do like crazy. All of a sudden, all my other content just kind of, I feel like, got unlocked. Like maybe the algorithm just realized like, okay, like this is somebody we can like actually put into the mix again. And he's like doing a spattering of content, and also post community posts. And first off, they're super helpful for me to see your guys' answer. I've seen some really great talking points on them. I've asked questions like, you know, what do you consider to be a budget deck in terms of like price range? You know, what format you want to see for BCS, or what do you think should happen to like B series? Just random stuff like that. And there's things that I've kind of worked into my topics and my content. So it's become a kind of a three-headed beast in a way, and a multifaceted beast at this point. Like you have to be making various forms of content for YouTube in order to really get the algorithm to keep on going and start to like really ramp up in general. Like if you look at the big tubers, who's big at this point? Outer Orange makes a lot of shorts that I really love to watch. She does like the demonstration videos, things like that. You know, she has very consistent uploads. She's a really great example. I think she's somebody who grew, I think she has over 3K now, and she's grown pretty fast. Like obviously she's like, you know, a bushy spokesperson, whatever you want to call her. She's like linked up with that, and like she makes great content, she makes consistent content, and she's doing multifaceted things. So like you should be looking at whoever you think is like a good YouTuber and kind of not emulating them, or not imitating them, but emulating some of their behavior. So like that means, you know, I'm not copying content. Like for example, somebody makes I made a video, you know, oh, these are the problems with promos. Like, don't just like sit there and like maybe make another video. It's good to do that. Like, you know, maybe that's a topic you should copy, but so that more voices get heard. But, you know, let's say, you know, oh, this is the top tier anime tier list or something like that of characters, and then like the next day you come out with the same exact content. It just feels a little poachy. Be original, but emulate behavior. So like, you know, oh, my favorite tuber, my, you know, favorite content creator, they create 2 videos a week. Let me do the same thing maybe and see if that works for me. If it does, sure. If it's 1 video a week, whatever it is, just stay consistent with you, like I've said. So that's kind of how I've gotten to this point. That's how I'm kind of continuing. Me as an example, I try to focus on either like one informational piece, like a deck profile or something like that, and then I'm trying to do like 1 talking video, 1 monologue, or whatever you want to call it, per week, as well as like 1 short and 1 community post. So I at a time was trying to crank out 5 videos a week. It's not sustainable really for somebody who has a full-time job. You know, I'm married. I'm a grown adult at this point. It's a little difficult to do. If you can do that and that's how the algorithm works for you, like totally go for it. But find something that works for you, and I think that you're going to be at a happy place in general. And really, you know, a number isn't everything. Like you have to be having fun with this, and I have a ton of fun. This has unlocked so many opportunities for me, and I feel more connected now to this Vanguard community than ever before. So I really enjoy it. I hope that more people in general really want to get into it, and I hope this video has either taught you something, maybe just inspired you a little bit. I know I'm not super technical, and my production quality, like I said, isn't anything out of this world, or, you know, whatever, but hopefully I've directed you in the direction of certain tools, or maybe just references, things like that can really help you out. If you have any questions, totally let me know down in the comments below. Always happy to help people out in that regard. I will, if you guys want, maybe I'll post something down below with like an email. You can maybe contact me or whatever if you want. Just leave a comment first. Maybe we'll talk in like a direct message or something like that otherwise. But if you have questions, let me know down there. Always happy to help. And there's really a great community behind you. There's so many reference points, so many resources out there on YouTube itself for making content, and obviously there's so many great creators. So I'm gonna pause right here. I'm gonna get into my last section here, just great up and coming tubers and people that I think you should use as reference points going forward. For this last part over here, like I mentioned, I just wanted to kind of get into a couple tubers that I think you can use them as an example to see like quote unquote, these people are like a little bit smaller in the community in terms of just like sub count, but like they're doing what I believe is a lot of like correct things in a way, and like these are some channels maybe to look at to see how they started and almost like emulate what they're doing now. And again, just like pick the people that you like and just kind of emulate their behaviors in a way. And like somebody I think who's doing it really well right now is Prime Vanguard. He makes really interesting stuff. Like, you know, he just released this, I have to go actually watch that, but like, I don't know, like what if things, what if they played. I think I watched this one over here. This was really awesome. He showed us like what, you know, just like unique stuff like that. Like this is, you know, great across the board, like thumbnails. You should definitely try to be using, oh yeah, I use Picsart for my thumbnails. I didn't go over that before, but like, you know, just there's so many different software things out, and like he does that well. He's super consistent, and like he's really grown a lot. Like he's at almost 700 now. Go follow him to get him to 700. But he's doing things right, and I think he's doing unique stuff. Yeah, again, he's doing the shorts. He's doing you know, reaction videos down here, which is pretty cool. Deck profiles. I think there's like match videos. I'm not 100% sure, but you know, there's a variety of stuff, and like he, I think, has really identified what works for him, and he's been rolling with it, and he's been doing like a lot of custom things. And like, again, the view counts aren't going to blow you away half the time, and like that's just the reality of Vanguard in general. But I think this is a higher quality channel that is new, and somebody you can look towards and be like, okay, like I want to, you know, have this level of content, or, you know, this level of production quality, whatever it may be. Another person who kind of along the same lines is Devlin over here, and I've done a video with Devlin. Super cool dude. He's also, I believe, doing things right too, and like it's been a little bit since he's posted something, like 12 days, whatever. Like that's fine. Life gets in the way, totally does. But like he is somebody who's on the more competitive side of things. He brings match videos. He brings, you know, a variety content as well. He also brings, you know, the vlog stuff is cool. Like just somebody to look towards in terms of their consistency and just like overall quality of their content. He works really hard. I've worked with him, like I've discussed, like setup kind of things. So he works really hard on a lot of the stuff that he does. So definitely an up and coming person as well. Let's get him up to 1,000. He definitely deserves 1,000 over there. All these people do, don't get me wrong. But yeah, another person too who's really, I think he's really taken off, and he's super fun to watch. This is going to be Gods, man. And you might see that like I haven't watched all these people's videos. I'm on my Alex CFV account, not my personal account. On my personal account, I like do my actual viewing of stuff. So you might not see me full red bars on everybody's stuff here, but I'm a consumer. Like I watch so much Vanguard tube, and like he does reaction stuff and like watch alongs. He does custom card reviews and like pretty cool, like interesting, very unique stuff. And like again, that's more along the lines of like, don't just do deck profiles, don't just do match videos, do something that's unique, that's fun. Do something that you are passionate about, of course. And like if that's what you're passionate about, totally go for it. But like these people have found like a unique identifier, and I think they're really cashing in on like, not cashing in, but like capitalizing on unique content, which the community definitely needs more of. It can't just be like, different fight putting out different kind of videos and like anything that's just not deck profile. So definitely need more people in general. And then this is Mo over here, Ashel Susno. This is an example of like a high tier player. If you're somebody who believes they're like a very high tier player, you have the tops, you have the experience, all that stuff, like you don't have to have a channel where you're posting every day. Like YouTube doesn't have to be the end all be all. Like it could be just like your video journal where you sit here and like, look, I just topped, like this is how I did it, this is my match breakdown, this is like the deep dive into my deck. I just want to give that support to the community, and here it is. And like he definitely uploads consistently enough for sure. But a lot of people who are on that level, like Solemn, for example. Solemn doesn't upload super consistent, but like he uploads high tier quality stuff. Like when he does top, he always uploads the deck list, things of that nature. And just he's somebody, again, you can kind of point to, and again, a little bit smaller, definitely deserves 1,000 subs at least, and somebody who he sits there and he explains his deck, things like that. And like you want to see those kind of players do that. So if you believe you're on that level, you can totally do it. And then this is a great channel. I think a lot more people should be subbed because it has so much variety. We're all card gamers here. Like we want to play multiple games. This is a perfect example of a way you can hone into a locals without having a locals. So Heal on 6 does like a ton of match videos. So we're just going to see it. He does a ton of different games and stuff. But like these are NYC games, Card Quest, Next Level, all these things. These are like, this is so valuable if you want to get better as a player. Like I'm not trying to gas New York City or anything like that. Like I'm not part of these locals. It's just, this is high tier. A lot of this stuff is like high level kind of gameplay, and you have insight, you have deck profiles, you have like in-person stuff, and like these players, it's a very competitive scene. Like it's just very, I don't want to call it cutthroat or anything like that. Again, I'm not part of that community, but like for you just to have an inside look into this kind of stuff for free is awesome. And like this, if you want to become a channel where you're just focused on your locals, or maybe just make a channel for your locals, things like that, like that is totally acceptable too. That is another form of content that you can be getting into. I know I just said don't just do this or that, but like if that's the mainstay, if that's something that you want to go into, like he has a purpose for this. Like he's trying to get into the New York City local gaming tournament, stuff like that. So this is a really good example of, again, finding your passion point and like really bringing it to life. And the consistency on this is like kind of crazy. Like he's always posting videos, there's always different stuff. And like for a while too, he's posting like, I think it was multiple 3 weeks. Yeah, he was posting like a lot of stuff kind of like back to back. And like I get it, it's different games and stuff, but like Vanguard definitely, I think is what he kind of started on. It's Heal on 6. So I think he is rebranding soon, so stay on the lookout for that. But ranked saying cards too, you don't really hear too much buzz with this, but this is another person who I think you can look towards and just admire their consistency. They post all the time. They have, it's like me. We don't have crazy, insane production quality. Not saying his stuff is bad at all. It's definitely awesome, but like, you don't need to go, and not every video has to look like different fights. Like he is super consistent. He just posts. I think he has good opinions on a lot of stuff. He covers like the news. So again, it's variety content. Nothing like insanely unique that I can really see. Yeah, tier list, things like that. Just really another person you can look towards for that consistency kind of thing. And like, it's good content overall. Like the person's knowledgeable and whatnot. This is pretty cool too. Again, this is kind of a low sub count, but at the same time, if you're looking for something unique, like this is, I love listening to and it's been a while, but I love listening to the Legacy podcast. I love following the Legacy Cups, all that kind of stuff. And I think this is a good one. This is run by Edward Van Mans. I think that's his name on Twitter or something like that. I can't quite remember. I think that's his logo and stuff, but again, just really cool to do this kind of podcast stuff. And if you're somebody who wants to get into that, players love to talk. Like, ask players and they will do it. Like, you can interview people, you can like discuss things, even discussing with like your friends and whatnot. Like, if you find this to be the content you like to watch, maybe emulate that again. So yeah. And then also getting more into like, I think these next two are kind of on the same wavelength as like Heal on 6. Illusion XD over here. Funny, I never actually said the XD out loud, and then I just did. But again, somebody I think should have a couple more subs, but like just very consistent, I guess, in the past couple weeks or whatever. The past 2 weeks hasn't really, but this is a great person to follow if you, again, want to get into a locals and you don't actually have like a locals. He posts tons of stuff from it all the time. He's very consistent. He's active on Twitter. It's just like really fun to watch. And like, I feel like, you know, invested in watching a lot of these games because you start to pick up on like voices, things like that. And like, you know, who's who. And like, it's just cool to see how other locals kind of operate. So I feel like this is a great way to kind of get into that. I don't know, where is he from again? If you're watching this, let me know where you're from. I forget. Tournament videos, whatever, I won't dox you, but I'm always curious about that. And then over here too in Chicago, I know you're just in the Midwest kind of area. Checkmate Vanguard, same kind of thing. It's like posting from locals, posting about locals, deck profiles, things like that, and there's good explanations. Really nice dude too. And like, again, another channel who is a little bit smaller right now, again, definitely deserves more subs and stuff, but like, I like personally watching this stuff, so like I emulate certain things about it, and I think you need to find your kind of corral, your whatever. And like, I obviously watch the big tubers too, like everybody does, like absolutely everybody does. It's just like, you know, these are the more niche things that maybe you can find that they do something unique that you like, that maybe you want to bring to your channel. These are smaller channels, so maybe like you just want to emulate something about them. But like, obviously, I think the big people, we all know, like they're all sitting here on my on my sidebar, and like I watch everybody's content. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I know this became like an insanely long video, did not mean to get this long, but I really do appreciate you guys sticking around for the ride. If you did enjoy the content, make sure to leave a like on the video, possibly consider subscribing to the channel. I definitely appreciate it. I'll never ask you guys for like money, anything like that, and just that simple click can really help me out, as well as using my TCG player affiliate link down in the description below. Absolutely no cost to you. You can shop that link to help support the channel. Again, no cost to you. Thank you in advance. So if you have any questions, anything like that, totally let me know down below. I really enjoyed actually doing this video. It was cool. Let me know any other topics you want me to cover, if there's any deck profiles, anything like that. Always looking for like ideas for content. So thank you guys in advance. This is Alex from Alex CFE signing out.